Hey there, how's it going? My name is Jennifer, and Coconut is the snoring bulldog next to me. We are here today to bring you a practice to love on your body. You can look at this from a self-love perspective and really use the practice to connect to your body, to check into what it's saying to you, to listen and then follow through and act on what your body is encouraging you to do. Or you can use it just a simple self-care type practice where you're just nurturing your body after a long day of work. I believe that self-care and self-love are directly connected, and the more you spend on self-care, the more your self-love builds. But I also think that as you're doing all of this self-care, you need a little bit of self-love to keep it going. That's what keeps the momentum in caring for yourself, knowing that you're doing it for a bigger reason than to just look fit or be less stressed or be more flexible, right? You're coming to your yoga mat to care for your body, mind, body, emotions. And doing that builds both a stronger level of care and love for yourself. So go ahead, grab your yoga mat, put on something cozy, maybe turn on some gentle tunes. I have some on my website that I will put in the description box below, some playlists you can use. A pillow or a yoga block will be needed. If you don't have that, you can just roll up a towel even to just support ourselves during this practice. So let's go. We're going to start the practice from child's pose. So coming from on your hands and knees, big toes together, your knees are going to go nice and wide. And then slowly sit your hips back towards your heels. If that is too much on your knees, you can bring a pillow under your bottom and sit back here. If for some reason it's uncomfortable on your ankles, put a pillow or towel under your ankles and then start to fold down towards the earth. You can rest your head on a block, a pillow, or your hands, or maybe just your yoga mat. Take a really big breath in and let it go out of your mouth. Take a couple more big breaths if you're called to do so. Few more breaths right here. Just letting everything sink in. Maybe turning your thoughts down a little bit. Slowly come back up to your hands and knees. Remove any props. Take your hands nice and wide like a starfish, pressing down through your knuckles and your fingertips, right? The whole hand is helping your wrist here. Tuck your toes if you'd like. It always feels good for me, but you can untuck them if you don't want to do that. Drop your belly. Take a big breath in as you look up. This is cow pose. Now exhale, round it out, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, and spread your shoulder blades nice and wide. Drop your belly, inhale, look up. Exhale, round it out. And then just take a few breaths here, back and forth with your breath. Getting out of whatever position you were in most of your day. You can sway your hips side to side. Really looking over that shoulder, stretching through your side body. Keep that breath flowing. Inhale one side. Exhale the other. Get back to the center. We're going to thread the needle. So inhale one arm to the sky. Start by lifting the elbow. Just start by getting the elbow up, pressing through this bottom hand and just open your chest, open your heart. If it feels loving, you can reach that arm all the way up. Maybe roll the wrist or do a big circle here. Slowly thread that arm through. You're going to bring the arm underneath. Bring your shoulder down to the earth. If you need a little help, if you want the ground to come a little higher, bring a pillow under your shoulder. See if you can relax your head, and you're just starting to put a little pressure on your shoulder, kind of opening up through the back of the shoulder, shoulder blade. If you want a little more, you can take this opposite arm up, kind of inch it away from you. You'll get a little extra little rotation. Big breaths. You can breathe in the nose, out the nose. Or you can go in the nose, out the mouth. I like to do in the nose, out the nose because it gives me a little alert when I'm going too far. If I have to breathe out my mouth, it's usually because I've gone too far in the pose. But it's up to you again. Take your time, unwind, do what feels good. You can reach your arm back to the sky or just cat-cow, wiggle it out. And we'll try the other side. So find your tabletop. Press down through the bottom hand and start to open the heart, lifting that elbow to the sky. If it feels loving, open up. Your palm will be nice and open. Good, maybe take a big circle with that shoulder. And then thread the needle, take it under. A few big breaths. Listening to what your body might be telling you, or just noticing how the body feels in the pose. Two more big breaths. Unwind, come back to your tabletop. We're going to take a downward facing dog. So walk your hands away from you a little bit. I still want them to be nice and wide like your starfish hands. Tuck your toes, lift your tailbone, and then drop your head. Uh-oh. So lifting your tailbone to the sky is the most important thing here. So if you feel like your tailbone's tucked under, see if you can bend your knees a little bit and just start to tilt your tailbone to the sky. Now don't worry, if it can't get there today, that's okay. Yoga is a practice, and because of our seated posture, this might be a little difficult, but you're in luck because we can shift that posture with some yoga practice. Just come to your yoga mat regularly, and you'll start to feel it shift. Tailbones to the sky. Head is just heavy, like an anchor at the bottom of a nice chain. Good. Slowly, we're going to shift forward, find the top of a push-up, and then come down to your belly for a Sphinx pose. So all the way down into your belly. You have some options here. Traditional Sphinx is your elbows are just going to be out in front of you. And we're just looking for a little opposite posture than what we would do over our car or our desk, right? Rounded over. We want that upper mid-back to go in the opposite direction. If this is uncomfortable, you can grab a pillow and just kind of rest on the pillow here. Or you can just widen your elbows a little bit, finding the amount of bend that feels loving to you. Yoga can be something that brings challenging poses. That's good. Challenge is good. Even some discomfort is to be expected, right? If something is challenging and hard, or if you're right on the edge of a little stretch there, it will be a little uncomfortable occasionally. But yoga should not bring pain. You should not be in a painful position if you're on your yoga mat. If there is pain, that is your body saying, slow down, stop, take a break, don't do that anymore. Okay, so nothing painful here. For the last few breaths, if you're feeling like it's not painful, take your hands a little wider and you can take seal pose. So I try this one all the time, and every once in a while it feels really good. Today it actually feels great. Yesterday it did not feel great at all. So if it doesn't, just lower right back down to whatever version you were at. Otherwise, 2 more big breaths. Good, slowly lower back down. And we're gonna press back to a child's pose. Hands underneath the armpits. You can tuck your toes up. Ooh, through your tabletop back to your child's pose. All right, so you can hang right there, or you can take a pose that is called tadpole. So there's a pose in yoga called frog, but we're not gonna go all the way there. I want your big toes to stay together, but start to walk your knees as wide as you comfortably can, or slight uncomfortable is okay, no pain. And then start to create more like a child's pose position. So again, use your blocks, use your blankets, use your pillows. It actually feels good today, so I'm gonna hang out right here. Just go inward, feeling the pose, listening to your body, and breathe. Few more big breaths. Good. Slowly inch your knees back towards center, however that makes sense to you. Maybe just take a moment here with the legs closed. You can just stay here, sit tall. This is called rock pose. And then slowly we're going to build pigeon pose. So I like to come in from downward facing dog. I just like to have everything out of the way so I can just come right into the pose. So from your down dog, you're going to take one shin under the body and start to sink in. So there's a couple things you can do if this is too much fire, too much intensity, it's bordering on painful. Bring a pillow or a block under that floating hip. You can bring a pillow or a block under your hands or your elbows. You can even bring a pillow, maybe you have a blanket under there, under your belly, so that you just kind of rest down on your pillow and there's not so much intensity on the hip. You want to feel a stretch in the hip, and the knee should feel safe and loved. And then take a few big breaths right here. So right now my right hip is actually telling me that it's slightly uncomfortable. So I'm going to modify. I'm going to slide my back knee in. I'm just going to bend it a little bit and that takes some of the fire out. I found myself saying, stay in the pose, you're recording this. And then I said, no, listen to your body, silly girl. So a few more breaths, modifying if need be, adjusting to make it feel loving and safe. All right, slowly, we're gonna switch sides. So I am going to go back to down dog and switch sides, but you can just break dance your feet around if you want. As long as you end up in pigeon on the other side. I like to take a little moment to wiggle everything out. And then bring that other shin underneath. Setting up to be able to breathe and hang out there, so it shouldn't be too intense right out the gates. But keep in mind that every day is different and every side is different, so you just have to kind of honor what shows up and listen and go from there. A few more breaths here. If your mind is wandering like crazy, you can count your breaths. Slowly, we're gonna rise up. Bring both legs around front and give them a little shake. Go ahead and grab one of your props, whether it's a pillow or a yoga block, and start to make your way down onto your back. It might take a moment just to be flat on your back. Sometimes after a day of being over the computer, that will feel a little uncomfortable. If you want, you can take the arms out. Just a few breaths here. Right, if that feels good, you can stay right there, or we're just gonna build this pose with a block under the hips. So you're gonna lift your bottom up, place your pillow or your block directly under your sacrum, which is the triangle bone. It's an upside down triangle bone at the base of your spine. It's like between your cheeks. And you want to make sure that that is supported. You don't want to feel like it's way up high and your bottom's falling off the bottom of the block. You want to keep it nice and supported. Oh, this one's so nice. So you can stay here nice and loving, keeping the feet flat. This just is a wonderful little subtle shift of the hips. But if you want to invite a little more or explore a little more, you can slowly take one leg long, just resting it down on the earth, right? It might want to fall out to the side, and that's fine. As long as there's no pinching in the low back, we'll just breathe there. Slowly slide this leg in. Try the other side. through your face, your hands and your feet. Just letting your body kind of spill open here. On your exhale, just let go of the tension. We have to practice letting go of the tension because we're so used to just hanging on to it, right? Our hands will get a little tense, our face gets tense, our shoulders are tense, and before you know it, our entire upper half is just a tense ball of tenseness, of stress. So let it go. Good, slide that long leg in. And we're gonna take waterfall. So you might wanna slide your blocker pillow up just a little bit. Take one foot to the sky and then the other. We're not doing anything fancy. We just wanna get the body upside down. That's it. If you want, you can roll your ankles, but this is simply to reverse the blood flow in your body. This pose also lowers your blood pressure and calms your nervous system, so it's just an overall relaxing pose. Sometimes it's fun to add the arms, and we call this sleeping tiger. So your arms just kind of float right above your chest. It's a very interesting sensation. It feels wonderful. And you'll know it's working when you start to feel like the fluids have left your feet, maybe your hands. So you have a few more moments, otherwise just slowly hug your knees into your chest. Good, very slowly hug your knees down towards your chest. And then step one foot down to the earth, and then the other. And you can remove your block. We're going to do a supine twist. So your feet can stay on the earth and just tilt to one side, relaxing through the upper body, through the face. And imagining like you're taking that opposite shoulder down to the earth, like someone put a sandbag on that shoulder. Now, if you want a different sensation, a little more intensity, you can lift your knees up towards your chest and then drop your knees to the side. So play with both versions, see which one feels best for you today. And then do that thing where you let go of the tension, let it go. A few more big breaths. And slowly try the other side. If this is uncomfortable, you can always also slide a pillow under your thighs for a little extra support. Whether you are coming to your yoga mat to simply just care for yourself, to get more flexible, to move your body in a different way than you do throughout your day, or you're coming here to really connect with yourself and learn more about yourself. No matter your intention here today, the more you get to know your body, the easier it is to care for it. And I have noticed how much my body has changed over my 36 years on planet Earth. And I know I have a lot more to go, so I'm very excited about this connection with my body so that I can understand what it's asking for as I move through life. Slowly hug your knees into your chest. So I guess what I'm trying to say is get to know yourself. Get to know your body, get to know your thoughts, get to know your emotions, because the more you do, the more information you have to work with moving forward. Slowly we're going to come up to your bottom. You can rock and roll. This is a nice little massage for the spine. It's also nice. It feels like you're on a swing set. But if that's not loving, just tip over to one side and press yourself up. We're actually going to come to a little butterfly pose. Feet together, knees nice and wide. You can bring stuff to the sides to support if you would like. And then what we're going to do is simply let the knees open up here. Find your sit bones, your butt bones, not your tailbone on the back. Sit tall. And just take a few big exhales, letting the legs just open. Don't fight it. Very slowly. You're going to slide one foot in and leave one foot out in front. We're going to give ourselves a foot massage. Sounds silly. But if you wait for someone to just massage your feet, it's not going to happen. You can pay someone. But if you just take a few moments when you're here on your yoga mat, even if it's just every once in a while, digging your thumbs in, pressing through the toes, give them a little crack, a little bend. So many bones and muscles are in our feet, and our feet work so hard for us. So just giving it a moment of appreciation, making it feel good, getting into that arch. Good. Try the other side. Ooh, that was good. Got the pinky toe. We have one more pose after this. Might be moving into my favorite yoga pose. So I'm going to recommend your pillow and maybe a second pillow or a towel. You're going to put one pillow behind your back, right up to your booty. And I'm going to go ahead, because I know that I enjoy this, I'm going to put this towel long way so I just have a little more support. And you're slowly just going to lay back. I have my legs like crisscross applesauce, but you can extend them. But you're going to lay back over your blankets, towels, whatever you got back there. A yoga block would work too. It's just a little more intense. If it feels loving, take your arms, palms up to the sky. And you can leave your feet crisscross applesauce. You can bring them to butterfly if you want a little more of that. Or just walk them along like a Shavasana. I love this pose because it's the opposite of what we do all day. So just take a few more moments listening to what the pose might be telling you, what your body or your thoughts, even your emotions might be telling you. Or just focus on your breath and leave all that stuff out. to dismount by rolling off to the side. And we call this fetal pose, bringing your knees up towards your chest. And just kind of bringing your spine back to a nice neutral alignment. And take your time pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Your eyes can stay closed if you want. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. Notice how your body, your mind, and your emotions are showing up now. And know that no matter if you came to the mat to nurture your body or to get to know yourself, or both, that your body is grateful. And make sure it knows you are grateful for it as well. May you find happiness in the root of all happiness. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you soon. If you dig what I have going on here on YouTube, you should check out my online wellness program, Foundational Fitness. This program provides you with everything you need to create a healthy foundation for your life. I have designed this program to flow with the seasons. Because each season brings different energies and changes our priorities, the workouts and coaching will also reflect the energies of the current season. This provides a built-in time for rest and forces you to move your body differently throughout the year, keeping it safe and aligning your wellness to fit the rest of your life. Each month, I will provide step-by-step guidance that you can use to create what's best for your body. This will develop a connection with your body and keep you safe. In addition to workout videos and yoga flows, I will also coach you through each month because no amount of workout videos will help you reach your goals if you're still resisting doing the work. I will help you change your mindset so that you can change your body. I'm hosting this program on a platform for creators called Patreon to keep things simple and to allow us to connect and move through the seasons together. However, you will also have access to all of your monthly goodies on my website. Here you can download and save all of the content so that it's forever at your fingertips. If you're ready to create a healthier, happier body, and by extension, a healthier, happier life, sign up on my Patreon page. The link will be in the video notes below. For the price of a cup of coffee each week and with no contract, you can start creating a foundation for the rest of your life today.